Okay guys, it is here. This is the new Convaid Trekker special needs stroller for my 2.5-year-old son Aiden. And I wanted to do this video so you could get a chance to see all the cool features it has. Alright, so first I'm going to do a walk around. For this particular stroller, I got to choose that bright red color. That was just a personal preference. We have padding at the very top for his head, and a tray that we actually had to pay for underneath. And then you'll see these two toys do not come included. They're actually Aiden's toys from our trip to the hospital. So the very first feature I want to go over with you is how to strap your child in, because it looks really easy, but it took me a second to realize where everything went. So I'm going to use my trusty dusty puppy here. He's going to help us out. So we're going to pretend this is your child. And after I put the child in the seat, this particular strap's a little different than a car seat because it has these little hooks here that you would connect here. I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed. Success! And then, of course, little puppy's a little short for this one, but you do the same thing on this side. And then I always leave this one, or at least one of the ones on the bottom of the top strap, so that way the whole piece doesn't come off, because this can come off so you can wash it. And then there's another strap on this side, and you'll hook it just the same way you did on the other side. Now, of course, your child would definitely be a little bit bigger than this, so it wouldn't cover up the face. On my child, it comes right about the midsection of his chest. Then you would do the bottom part, and this is to keep them from sliding down. So there's a metal piece here, and you're going to buckle it in like a seatbelt. Once again, doing this with one hand is actually challenging, but sometimes as a special needs parent, you may find yourself needing to use only one hand to strap in. So I'm going to try to do that really quickly. Okay. So then, of course, after you strap this piece in and you strap this piece from keeping them from sliding out, your child is good and secure. Now, another one of the features I really love are the handlebars are adjustable. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So on the sides here, and here, if you press them at the same exact time, then you're going to change the height of the straps. So if you're taller, it makes it easier for you to roll around. And then, of course, if you're shorter like me, I adjust them so that they're a little bit further down. Another cool feature is this part right here, which is where your child puts their feet. Same thing, you have a gray button on the side, and these buttons on the side allow you to adjust this up or down for comfort. Another feature I really like is this thing that looks like something like a brake on a handlebar, but it's actually for the tilt function on the chair. So if you press this and then you kind of adjust here, and I'm going to try to do it with my foot since I only have one hand. And if you see, my little baby is tilted back, my little puppy now, and I'll show you the side view. And then same thing, so that's like, for instance, let's say they're at the hospital, they're getting tired, they're getting fussy, they're getting sleepy. You can easily tilt them back so they can catch a quick nap. Or if they need to sit more upright, you can do it in reverse. So you'll once again press here, and then this time you'll press down. And then if you notice, this time your child will be tilted, will be more upright. And you can change that so that they're tilted at a 90-degree angle, or they can be tilted further down for naps and sleep times, etc. The other feature I really love about this particular stroller is that you can actually tilt just the back part of the seat. So if let's say you have a child like mine, he's 2.5, and he's currently not potty trained because, we're still working on crawling and standing so he can learn how to walk. So potty training hopefully will be in our future, but you know, it's not anything he's doing now, so he's still using diapers. So if you're out in a place and they don't have a special needs bathroom, or you're not near the car, or you can't really lay them on the floor or the ground, depending on where you are, you could actually, in a pinch, change them in the seat because you can lay it flat. So there's a strap on the bottom. Let's see if you can see the strap right here. If you tug on it, you notice I was able to lay the stroller almost completely flat, and of course if I wanted it all the way flat, I would adjust the tilt some. And now he's practically flat. And then same thing after you change the diaper, or if they're taking a nap, if you want them to sit up, same thing, you come underneath, find that strap, and you're going to pull. You're going to pull, and then you're going to push the seat up like this, and now your child is back upright again. We got through our insurance, so there is a wholesale price, but I think of course they have a different amount for the insurance. So the insurance did pay for a large portion of this. There are a couple of features that we were able to get just because of the types of insurance that we have. We do have private pay, FYI, that may help some people, but that allowed us to get this headrest, because they have some that are more so straight across, and they have some that look like the sides are more at a 90-degree angle instead of curved like this. But when we tried them out, our son, he didn't do as well with the shorter headrest because he likes to extend his body, and when he does that, he takes his neck out to the side and he will stick it under the headrest, and we thought that was an awful idea, so we got a longer and rounded headrest so he's not able to get his head under here. Another thing that we got as a feature to ours, and it's not in yet, but he will have a tray that will connect here and here, where we can put toys and he can play while he's in this chair. This is another cool feature if your child is tube fed. Our child has been on an NG tube, a G tube, a GJ tube, and now we're back to a G tube again. But this feature right here is actually a pole. Let's see if I can let it out on. Hold on, there we go. And this is a pole in which you can hang your feeding bags. If you put your pump into like one of those small kangaroo joey bags to have everything in one place, you can hang the bag up here and the pump, and that way A, you don't have to carry it, or B, you don't have to have it down here at the bottom of the stroller. So I do love that feature. And then when you're done with it, you can tuck it away, so it's out of the way and it doesn't hurt anyone. Another feature that we ended up paying for, which to me was a very big and worth it investment, is this little tray at the bottom. It's considered a tray, but it really only looks like a piece of mesh that's just hanging on to the bars at the bottom. And the reason I love that is because if you move this piece up here, like if you have a bigger bag like we do, you can literally slide the bag here underneath the tray, and that way if you're running through the hospital or you're in the airport and you have luggage or extra baggage, you can slide it under there, so you're not having to push luggage or, you know, carry a heavy backpack and carry the stroller and carry anything else you may have in your possession, like your purses. The other thing I love about the stroller is the grips here. So it's nice and comfortable. Looks like it's made out of rubber here, so it won't get too hot, won't get too cold, and it's not as easy for your stroller to slip away from you. Let's say if you have really sweaty hands, or you have something slippery on your hands for whatever reason, it'll stay put. Now, we don't have this feature, and I'll probably do a video later to show you this, but at some point our canopy is going to come in, because we are actually in the south and it gets very hot down here, and not just during the summer. Pretty much in the state that I live in, it's hot majority of the year. I would even venture to say almost 8 to 9 months out of the year it's pretty hot. And then you get a couple months where it's either cool or cold. So we're going to have a canopy to kind of block some of that sun, because my son is very sensitive to temperatures and he can handle being cold. He does not like being hot. So that's a great feature. And The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about are these parts on the side. Now, I don't know if these are optional or not, but they help my son because, once again, he extends. So what that means, it's almost like when kids have tantrums, and let's say they're on the floor and they kind of rear back and they're fighting you. Well, my son does that even when he's not upset, and they call that extension. So when he does that, his arms flow about, etc. So these portions on the side keep his arms more contained, so it's harder for him to push back, which is good for therapeutic purposes. Actually, there's one more thing I did want to show you. The brake on this thing is amazing, because on some strollers that you may have, there might be like a brake on one side and then one on the other. But with ours, there's literally one entire bar, and the entire bar is the brake bar. So for instance, right now it's locked, but if I wanted to unlock it, all I'd have to do is take my foot, push it up, and now all of a sudden we're moving. So if you have any questions about how this works, I'm sure there are more technical terms that if you wanted to Google those, it would be helpful. But I wanted to make this video for the everyday parent so they could see what features are available if you're looking for a stroller or you're talking to your therapist about best options. But I will say, as a parent, I quite enjoy this stroller. I couldn't have asked for a better one thus far, and I'll keep you updated as Aiden continues to grow. All right, well, happy riding.